What's up guys, and welcome back to another replay cast. Today's game is between Flash and Jaedong. Yep, the two OGs, the two best to ever do it. We are on Radeon for today's game. This was played in July of 2025. And as I've said before, I will continue to do as many games between these great rivals as I can find, especially if these games are worthwhile, hype, and enjoyable, which I must say a lot of the ones that I've done recently have been. Unfortunately, we haven't found any of sort of the epically long ones, but if it's sort of 16 minutes plus, I will cast it because generally there is some elements of the game that are well worth watching and entertaining, and I'm sure it will be no different today. So we are starting with a 4 depot here. Is Flash in this lovely magenta pink color. It really does pop nicely here. And unfortunately, Jaedong is playing in brown, poo brown. We're on melee today, so if I try and change the colors, both players are yellow, which I imagine is a little bit suboptimal. Anyway, so we're going with our forward Rex. Just want to say, guys, thanks so much for all of the recent support. I just got done doing the analytics report for April, and my views and subscribers have jumped exponentially, which is amazing. So thank you so much for the support. By the way, I have also just recently launched a brand new Discord server, so if you want to come hang out with me, get to know me a bit better, download the replay of today's game, by all means, please do come and find me there. Link is in the description box below. If you don't want to do that and you just enjoy hanging out with me on YouTube, please do hit the like button on today's video and subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be awesome to have you as a part of the tribe. And that's it. No more plugs and slugs. We are quite happy with what we got, which was a 12, 11, 10 from Jaedong. And Flash is doing the forward racks as already mentioned. He's probably going to do a 2 marine expand. A lot of mech games from Flash recently. And I've actually been looking for examples, specifically where he's going SK Terran against good Zergs, including Jaedong, in the last sort of 6 to 12 months, so this game falls into that criteria, just to see how he's kind of built up to find his favorite builds that he's now pulling out in competitions such as ASL. So I think it'll be fun. I am looking forward to today's game. Just because you're doing the 2 Marine Open doesn't actually mean that you got that SCV. That was really good. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go SK Terran. It's just a really effective economic open. I've seen him go mech from this open a number of times. It's just really the gas timing that tells you a lot. So that we do see the gas coming up pretty early. So this signals to me that we could well expect a quick factory. Some of the games that I've been doing of these two have all been played at a relatively similar timeline. So Flash may well have just been on this mission to perfect this build. These two are probably just practicing because this is not a ladder game. So they would have had to arrange to play this game. So they're either doing it as a show match on stream or just as friends. I'm not that close to the Korean scene. Like, I don't know who has great relationships with whom. I do get a little bit of Jinjin's content, and so I watch all the translations of the feedback that the guys are doing on competitions like ASL, KCM, etc. And Flash did mention in one of the translation videos that Jinjin did that he's pretty good friends with Bisu, and he was a bit sad to knock him out. I think I missed a bunker rush here. Oops. It was cancelled anyways. It's no big deal. But I don't know what his relationship is like with Jaedong. I know he does speak very admirably of him. Like, he says, even if Jaedong is having a bad patch, he's such a good player. He always comes back. And boy, has never a truer word be spoken. Absolutely. Alright, by the way, guys, we've been rocking this new overlay in the bottom right corner of our screen for a little while. Would love to go know your guys' opinion. We retired the old white and red text, which just looked really crap in hindsight. And we're going with something a little bit more Broodwar trend. By the way, Flash has snuck up here and is going to do some serious damage. So let me know in the comments what you think of the new overlay, guys. He's going to get himself a drone. And that is that. So pretty decent defense from Jaedong, albeit a little bit slow. On the plus side, he lost a drone, but he didn't have to make a sunken, right? So Sunkens are sacrificing a drone, and you need to spend, I think, 125 minerals, so it's 50 for a creep, and then 75 for the sunken. So all in all, pretty reasonable. And now suddenly Flash is going to be and a little bit of pressure to keep everything together. We see an armory, we see a starport. So it is definitely going to be a mech build of some sort. Sending out a vulture, getting vulture speed. Possibly a vulture drop is in Jaedong's future, if I dare hazard a prediction. And that could be pretty fun. We do see vulture number 1, we see an eBay. What a mixed bag build this is. So, what is Flash's plan to defend against the mutas is the question. Alright, so we do have our macro hatch. We're taking our third base once our macro hatch and our spire are already out. So a little bit of a safer opening from Jaedong this time. So our third base with our fourth hatch is usually a safer build order option. So somebody actually asked me a question in the comments the other day. What do I mean when I say it takes the third base on location? It's when your third hatchery is also your third base location. When your fourth hatchery is your third base location, it's a little bit of a safer build. Alright, so we have vultures on the map. They have some speediness with them. We're making a Valkyrie as well. Holy crap. I have not seen Flash do this before. This is super duper whooper hype. So the Valkyries are the solutions to the mutas. We're going to get ourselves a decent amount of drone kills here too. The vultures now do get out of dodge though. We have 4 marines in our bunker. We don't have any turrets. We're just making an additional rack. So this is going to be a Valkyrie open transitioning into marine medic again. Here comes the academy. Holy crap, it's difficult to understand what these Terran boys are up to sometimes. I mean, if you look at Zerg can't really do that much different. Yeah, they've got crazy Zerg and stuff like that, but it does feel like Terran have got like an infinite number of build order possibilities that they can throw around. Longest mind drag in the history of mind drags. Oh, that was funny. So a little bit of a quiet patch in this game. I want to actually see where the Valkyries engage. He's got about 3 of them. And he's still making another one. So it hasn't stopped making Valkyries. Look at this mix, man. Look at this comp. Is he going to go Overlord hunting? I have a feeling he's going to go Overlord hunting. The Overlord, guys. Well, here come the Scourge against the Overlord. Well, you're going to have a rough day, Mr. Overlord. That's the end of you, sir. So Jaedong's sort of supply blocked by that. Is a bit of a hassle. Is he going to go toe-to-toe with these Valks? I don't know if he is. Here we go. He's just coming after these mutas with no fear whatsoever. Does observe a few Scourges. Actually loses a Valkyrie there, does Flash. It's a bit sloppy. Gonna pick up another Overlord. This is exciting, guys. Flash does a Valkyrie build. This is his 4th Overlord I think he's gotten with us. Really getting a lot done. Lurkers now seem to be the solution. They're obviously going to be great against what's on the ground. I guess what Jaedong needs to figure out is a solution to the Overlord hunters. Third base behind this pressure from Flash, which is very typical and sensible stuff. We don't have any upgrades on anything at the moment. Are we getting any upgrades? We are getting +1 vehicle weapons. We're making factories, so he's pivoting. My god, pivoting for what feels like 12th time. He's getting rid of all the racks, and he's tech switching again. This is crazy. What a weird build from Flash. He's definitely experimenting with some tricks here, that's for sure. That's good. Sadly, don't connect. Sorry, I started with a little sluggy in my throat, and it is still slugging about. Uh-oh. Overlord hunting is real here, guys. Okay, he's down to 2 now. But the damage is done. Doesn't really supply blood. Oh my god, connect! Connect! Oh. The micro from these two players. Just unreal. So he's got floating barracks everywhere because he's changed tech what feels like 100 times. I think it's only 3, but in a 10-minute game, 3 tech changes is a lot. We do have +1 on our missile. I think Jaedong's plan is to fend off all this rubbish with Hydro Lurker. And some of these strategically placed mines are proving a bit painful. We have retired our Valkyrie open, and we are now going back into mech. Valkyrie triple tech switch. Let's go. Alright, so just scans to see what Jaedong has. It does seem to be a Hydra with fast Overlord support, which makes sense. It's kind of standard against mech. We have missed a drop, or just straight up harassment here. And he is getting some work done. I didn't see if it was a dropship or they just ran in there. My apologies. We did catch the back end of it. Decent amount of economic harassment from Flash. If anybody's going to get an opening on Vultures, it's going to be Flash. His Vulture play is just unbelievable. Has remade 1 Valkyrie, so obviously enjoyed the kind of damage they were doing. This is really tilting flying these barracks here. The Scourge will kind of just be stupid and fly straight into them. Scans are natural. Alright, so he's running in here to do some harassment. We're not going to miss it twice, boys. Kind of waiting for it this time. Actually flanked the vultures. That was very nicely dealt with by Jaedong. Couple of macro hatches here. And Flash decides it's time to move out. He's got +1 on his tanks. He's got +0 on his marines and infantry units. Couldn't find words there for a second. And here we go. With Jaedong, it's time to figure out how you defend against this, what I would call combo composite, but it's really more mech now than anything else. Another base being taken. Some mutalisk harassment from Jaedong, just finding the opening, knowing exactly where Flash's army is and isn't. Solid harassment from Jaedong. Doesn't have too many places to go. He's being fired on from all angles here. Flash doesn't have too much here because he's protected this with his bunker on the front end. So plenty of drones. And he has a few Goliaths. Actually backs himself. Ah, never mind. He decides. Nope. That's a critical mass. So where are we in this game? 145 plays 123. A little bit of a frenetic passage of play where both players are kind of counter-harassing, counter-position. No sort of direct massive head-on engagements. Flash does scan this base. I think he wants to potentially go and pressure there. Get more mutalisk harassment from Jaedong, just unrelenting here. Has I ever let Flash get all the way up onto his front door? Siege is up. You really don't want that. Wow, that sunken disappeared fast. Pulls the drones. My question though is, what exactly is Jaedong gonna fight this with? Also got a couple of like militia units here. So fronting him from 2 angles. And because these drones are retreated here, there's just so many drones up for grabs. Boom! Those hatches are gone. This hatch is in danger. Here come the Hydras. Not a flank, just a straight up. But there's not as many numbers here, so he's going to pick these off. But Jaedong's numbers are thinning dramatically, and there is plenty of flash around here. Are we going to get a counter? Oh man, how strong are these tanks? 2-1 against 2-2 Hydras, but they are trading so well. Uh-oh. He's got so many of his drones here. Don't think too many of them are going to be escaping. Do we even have Hive Tech? We do, but we haven't been able to integrate Hive Tech into the game as of yet. Some counterattacks attempted, but these bunkers are pretty tight. And that's the end of that extractor. The hatchery will go down. This will go down imminently. And that is that. Jaedong is given a pretty solid smack in this game, which can only really be described as a Valkyrie open transitioning into a fake marine medic, because he made 4 barracks and then floated them all and then pivoted back into factory. It was so wickedly weird from Flash, but he pulled it off. Cool game, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, hit that like button. If you haven't already, I'd love you to join and become a subscriber to our channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and until then, take it easy. Bye.